Speaker is R.S. Gates, who is addressing agenda item 9B.
Mr. Atkins, Board, I appreciate the time to come before you today. I am not a constituent of Waco ISD, but I am a concerned taxpayer, and I'm here in that capacity tonight. On the agenda item, it says the administration recommends by resolution the board cast 803 votes for Alan Sykes and 91 votes for Billy Hubert. I was at the last board of directors meeting of the appraisal district, and I know there wasn't anybody else there, so I got to think that maybe your administration was not aware of the information that I want to bring you tonight. When you sign up for comments at McLennan County Appraisal District, it says McLennan County Appraisal District highly values the input of citizens in making important decisions that affect the district. The problem with that is on their agenda, the public comment is item number 15, after they've already taken care of business. But I hung around, and because I wanted to address, the board voted to extend the contract of the chief appraiser for 3 years. They have 2 months left on their term of office. They extended the contract beyond the term of office of the people who will take office on January 1st. If that's not enough, when I requested to clarify that with
You're on a different clock.
when I requested to clarify that with the board, the attorney for the board who was present said they cannot answer any questions during public comment. Now this item was on the agenda. I think you're familiar with TASB. From TASB, they wrote, if the subject of public comment is already on the agenda for the meeting, the board may choose to respond subsequently to the comments at the time. Sounds like the Waco ISD board knows all about this. And I really appreciate that. But the problem is in that same meeting, they voted to extend the contract of the attorney that gave them wrong information. Maybe that's why in the same board packet, it said that they have incurred extraordinary legal expenses of $225,000. I filed a Public Information Act request with the appraisal district for the ballot that you have in front of you. There's 13 candidates on there, okay? They got an attorney from Round Rock to file with the Attorney General for an opinion to withhold that information. Now, the important thing is Mr. Caffey, my only recourse was then to request the information from the entities who received the ballot. So I did that. Mr. Caffey, just sent me the information. It's just that simple. He just sent me the information that I requested. Of the 30 requests that I filed, Mr. Caffey was one of only 4 people who furnished a complete response to my request.
Thank you, Mr. Gates. Item 9B, which is consider the resolution to cast votes in the McLennan County Appraisal District Board of Directors election. Dr. King.
Yes, sir. Every other year this comes up, and this is time for the next term, the next 2-year term. And I'm recommending that by resolution the board cast 803 votes to Alan Sykes and 91 votes to Billy Hubert as listed on the official ballot for the January 1, 2014 through December 31, 2015 term of office on the McLennan County Appraisal District Board of Directors.
How do we arrive at that? I'm curious. I'm just
835 but on page 109, it shows that Waco ISD has 894 votes. When you mathematically, if a candidate gets 835 votes, they're guaranteed to win. And Mr. Sykes has previously received votes from China Spring. He got 32 votes for China Spring, so not wanting to waste any votes, I'm recommending we give 803 votes to Mr. Sykes, which gives him 835, and that the remaining votes go to Mr. Billy Hubert.
Other questions, comments, discussion? Mr. Gates, I appreciate your coming down, and I understand it sounds like there were some internal issues there, particularly with the contract. We're in kind of a unique position in that we have enough votes to have a representative represent our interests. And Mr. Sykes has done that in the past, and I think he's done a good job in keeping us apprised of what was going on down there. And so I don't have any problem ensuring that he continues in that role. It's a little different ballot this year in that there are 13 candidates. In the past, we have supported Mr. Hubert, and I think as chairman, he's done a good job, from what I understand as well, notwithstanding the information that we've heard tonight. The reports I've gotten and what Mr. Sykes has always reported to us has been good.
Mr. Atkins, if I may, if you would just divide the votes among the members of the board, and they could cast their own votes. They take ownership of those votes, and they could cast them for any member that they wanted to.
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Okay.
I see what he's saying.
Well, let's do this then. Does anybody have either a different proposal other than what the administration has suggested in terms of casting them kind of en banc, if you will, for Mr. Sykes and the remainder for Mr. Hubert? Does anybody have any other thought or anybody else that they want to, that they would do something different than that? Well, I mean, we haven't acted, so anybody can make a motion or have a proposal that we could then entertain in the form of a motion. Mr. Dupuy, do you have something to say?
As you say, I'm not sure I'm
His microphone.
Oh,
familiar enough. I'm sorry.
And Mr. Manning.
I'm not familiar enough with the doings of the appraisal district currently, nor any of the individual characters involved, really to take issue with the administration's recommendation, unless Alan Sykes, who's on that board, tells me different. And you would?
I would.
Yeah, okay. That being said, I'm good with the administration's recommendations. I wouldn't, I would be the uninformed voter in the voting booth. I don't want to be that guy.
Mr. President,
Ms. Tico.
just to echo what Kerry's saying is Alan has served us well. We have a very large interest in making sure that the district is represented on that board. We wouldn't want to, in my opinion, I don't want to do anything to compromise our representation by taking away votes from Mr. Sykes that might compromise our position on the board. And I haven't heard anything from Mr. Sykes or the administration that would make me second guess the recommendation to give the remaining votes to Mr. Hubert.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Williams.
I think Alan has done a great job for us. And my only concern would, if we would decide to bundle our votes and start splitting them up and so forth like that, then that would sort of eliminate the process of this board putting somebody on the appraisal district that would represent them. So, and then too, if it's a fair game, and I don't think it's a fair game. If we're doing it, then everybody else is not doing it, and then that puts us at a disadvantage when we want to have somebody that would maybe favor this board's position. So I'm in favor of accepting the administration's recommendation.
Let me ask this. Is there anybody who has concerns about the procedure? This is obviously what we've done in the past is voted in one motion. Does anybody have any concerns about doing that again this year? Then I will entertain a motion.
I move we accept the administration's recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any other questions or comments? Any other discussion? Okay. Then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And motion does carry.